everybody. Okay, I think we're live now. I'm pretty sure. Sorry if you just joined us a couple seconds ago. As always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below or send us a direct message as well. If you find this video helpful, give us a like and feel free to share it as always. So today we're with Patrick Kirby. He's the owner of Do Good Better Consulting. Our topic today is the importance of getting engaged within your community and volunteering. So Patrick, for pretty much your entire life, you've been involved as a volunteer or helped organizations as far as volunteering. So tell us a little bit about your background and why you're so passionate about this topic.
Sure. I was an accidental fundraiser, graduated from college with a politics degree, and unless you're going to teach politics, it's kind of a weird degree to have. So I started actually fundraising and working with alumni at my old high school, which turned me into sort of the fundraising path that I ended up with, and ended up working at the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, ended up working at the Ann Carlson Center out of Jamestown, North Dakota, and then recently I started my own company to do fundraising consulting on my own. So this was kind of a fun little adventure and a path. But I love volunteering. I love talking about volunteering. I love about anybody being passionate about what they're doing and finding their passion through nonprofit organizations or organizations in general. And it's pretty amazing. So yeah.
Awesome. Good. Well, I'm excited that you're here with us today. We actually had Patrick help us. A lot of you might know that I am the co-state director of North Dakota Dollars for Scholars as well here at the bank. And Patrick helped us with visiting with our chapters throughout North Dakota about fundraising and stuff, and just great opportunities there. So he's got a wealth of knowledge. So tell us typically why you have seen people volunteering in the past.
Sure. A couple reasons people would volunteer. One, really to test what they like. High school and college is a great time to figure out where your values are, what you like, what you dislike. Volunteering at organizations is a really good opportunity to figure that out. Whether you kind of are passionate about dogs, or you're passionate about kids, trying to find that passion is pretty good. If you're a true believer in a cause already, if you really believe that that helping animals and finding them forever homes is your passion, volunteering is a great way to kind of get it out of your system and sort of help feel good about yourself. You might be a serial volunteer, which is, I've met them all over the place. They just love talking about organizations. They love volunteering. It just makes them feel good. Volunteering is the only sort of acceptable way to be super selfish. If you volunteer because it makes you feel good, that's totally fine. We're genetically programmed as human beings to kind of do good, and it makes us feel great. So if you're a serial volunteer, it's totally fine. And so that's kind of the reasons people, at least I found in my tenure, why people do that.
Right. Yeah, and it definitely helps people get more involved in giving back within their community as well, right?
It does. Yeah, it's super. It's an opportunity to kind of increase your awareness of other organizations too. Sure. Helping others is an amazing thing, and if you've got the opportunity to, why not, right?
Yeah, exactly. So tell us a little bit about benefits of volunteering and what kind of skills it may be able to build as well.
Sure. Well, I think there's a couple benefits. One, as a volunteer, you can really make an impact, and you can actually see your impact while you volunteer, whether you're distributing food at a food pantry or you are making food and distributing it at maybe a homeless shelter, you can actually see the impact of your work. You can actually feel connected with the community as a whole. You develop a bond with some of your fellow volunteers, which is really interesting. It's kind of like a social club for like-minded individuals, and you can find new friends, you can find new colleagues, and make connections all over the place. And really, sometimes you can expose yourself to new ideas. You can expose yourself to new problems. Some people don't know that there is a rampant homelessness with youth here in the Fargo-Moorhead area. Not a lot of people know that, and that unless you are in that world, there's no reason why you would. So figuring that out and finding new problems and then coming up with solutions as a volunteer or as someone who donates money or making connections in the community to solve that problem, amazing. Some of the skills that you would learn as a volunteer or someone who participates in nonprofit organizations, Event logistics. I know it sounds weird, but you are an event logician if you are volunteering for an organization.
Yeah.
You will never, ever complain about an event again if you volunteer and donate your time to an organization, because you know all the crazy stuff that happens in the background. But getting skills on like how to prep a menu, how to call for items, how to solicit for donations, how to run volunteer crews and kind of divvy up responsibilities and duties. An extremely valuable skill in the workplace to kind of work with colleagues and work with different people of different backgrounds. You can learn it at a volunteer event, and you can learn it as an organization, and then you don't have to, that's part of your interview process. Well, I did this volunteering and I had this as a skill. People skills is another one. Like I said, you're going to meet the most diverse group of people in different organizations across the board, and you'll learn how to talk with somebody or to meet with somebody and have a relationship that's not, sort of, I assume that you know these things. Well, if you have a bond over an organization or something that you do together, you really learn how to talk to somebody who may have a different cultural background, a different lifestyle background than you. It's a wonderful way. Also, and this is kind of a fun one if you're sort of into this, you can rub elbows with the bigwigs or the up-and-coming bigwigs. At some of these organizations who have a lot of, they recruit big donors or big business people. As a volunteer, you get to rub elbows and kind of talk with them. How else are you going to meet a bank president, or how often are you going to meet a car dealership owner or somebody who's got a windfall of money? Donating your time at organizations gets you in the door, and then you get to meet and greet these people, and you are meeting under the circumstance that you're loving the same thing. So it's a wonderful opportunity to meet and greet people that you've always wanted to meet in a circle that you've always wanted to be in, or you stumble in and you find other people who are like-minded and passionate about those things too.
Yeah, that's awesome, and it's an opportunity to find a common ground. You always have something to talk about, right?
Yes.
Great way to build your resume as well. So even if you are in high school or college, it's still a great time to start building that resume, right?
This is the best time. You'll find when you are doing job interviews, for example, people will ask you what your experience is. And if you're coming out of high school and coming out of college and you're spending a lot of time getting part-time jobs, or you're trying to pay your way through college, not a lot of us had opportunities to have a job that developed the skills we needed for the job that we're trying to get, right? Organizational volunteering is a great opportunity to do so. Again, event logistics, managing other people within the organization. If you're a volunteer leader, for example, you can relate to the person that you're interviewing with and saying, no, I've got people skills in order to do this. I brought additional people on board. I recruited this person. I solicited this. And all of a sudden, your skills stack up against anybody else's who has a lifetime of experience, maybe not even in that same industry. So no, right now is the best time to do it because you can you can also kind of experiment to see what you like in the first place too. Yep. So try to figure out what you're passionate about and then go for it.
Awesome.
Yes.
I really love that. I made the mistake in college of not getting a lot of volunteer experience, and so it's kind of a double-edged sword. You graduate and you're ready to go out into the workforce, but guess what? You don't have that specific experience you need. So I struggled for a couple of years. I really had to start in entry level to build up those skills before I was able to move into the positions I wanted.
Exactly. And then if you're talking with other people who are volunteering at the organization, who are business owners and who are people of influence, you get to know them really, really well. So if you needed a letter of recommendation or you needed to have a connection into a job, it's not what you know, it's who you know, right?
Yep.
So,
sure.
So get to know as many people as you can who are as passionate about something that you are, and all of a sudden you begin to have a bond, and they're going to help you get to that next step too, because you are bonding over the same thing together. So it's a wonderful opportunity for you, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, there are a lot of different ways to get involved, and inevitably there is going to be someone watching this today that's interested in volunteering and getting involved, but just probably doesn't know where to get started. Where can people find these opportunities?
They're everywhere, and I know that's not very helpful. So we'll get to a couple of details. So one, try to figure out what you love. If you really love something, there is an organization that probably matches up with something that you really like. For example, a homeless shelter, if you're really into homelessness, a food bank or a food pantry is really helpful if you are concerned about feeding the hungry or clothing or feeding the poor. That's really important. So find out what you love and then sort of Google search whatever organizations that are associated with that. Churches are a good place. Social clubs, your parents' pieces or groups that they're associated with is a really good access point. So whatever you love, there's an organization that's probably going to be acquainted with that. There's over like 1,800 nonprofits in the state of North Dakota. You can get a hold of anybody, and they're probably willing to say, "Yep, we would like you to volunteer and be a part of this."
Yep.
We need help. Everybody does. If you don't have anything that you're extremely passionate about, what a great opportunity to figure that out. Pick one of the 1,800 or 2,000 odd charities, however many there are now, charities, and just volunteer some time. It doesn't have to be a lot. It can be 1 or 2 or 3 hours. It doesn't really matter. Volunteer your way, and you might find out what you like, and especially you find out what you don't like. There's nothing worse than being disinterested in an organization that you're already doing. So that's a good one. Or just pick randomly, throw a dart at a board.
I like that one.
Yeah, the Dakota Medical Foundation has a litany of individual organizations that they have that participate in Giving Hearts Day. The FM Area Foundation, United Way has a number of organizations that they help out. You can pick and choose whatever sort of pass-through organization that helps connect people to an organization. Pick one at random, and there's bound to be somebody or some individual who's looking for a little bit of help, and they're going to help you find your passion, or help you sort of corral your passion in doing something that's really good. Yeah,
absolutely, and I love it. And there's really never going to be a time where you're wanting to go volunteer time and they're going to turn you away, because those organizations want volunteers and new volunteers.
It's super true,
right?
and they want to tell their story to you, so that you tell their story to other people, and get you as passionate about their organization as you can be, because there's no better spokesperson for an organization than somebody who is outside of it saying that you guys are doing amazing work. I want to be a part of this too, and it's great from there. Absolutely.
Well, that's awesome. And at the end of the day, it's so much more than just volunteering. It's that skill building. It's being active within your community and giving back to your community and having that feel good, like Patrick said, it's in our nature. It's in our
feels
DNA.
good.
Yeah,
it's
human.
okay.
Absolutely.
It's okay to feel good about volunteering and doing good stuff. It's awesome. Yes.
And building and developing friendships, and it'll ultimately open doors to, whether those doors be to potential job opportunities down the road or different volunteer opportunities, and just those friendships too. So thank you, Patrick. I appreciate you being here with me today, and sharing your knowledge and taking time out of your busy schedule to visit with us about volunteering. I guess before we sign off, is there anything additional that you'd like to add?
No, please go out and volunteer. Every organization is in need of a different perspective, a helping hand, or somebody to help tell their story. So please do volunteer. Also, if you have any questions, drop them in the comment box below, and I'll be free to answer them, and as they come in, as throughout the day, month, weeks, or years. And so I'll put my contact information below if you have any questions to contact as well. And if you ever need to email me directly on an avenue in which to find a volunteer adventure, I probably have some hookups for you too.
He probably does have 1 or 2 or hundreds. And you can always, if you don't contact Patrick directly, you can always reach out to me too, and I can give you his contact info and whatnot. So, all right, well, thanks everyone. Have a fantastic Tuesday. And since we're talking about volunteering and giving of your time, I'll leave you with my favorite quote from my dad, and that is to make it count. And what does that mean? It means to make your day count in all things that you do. So I hope that you have a great day, and everyone it's beautiful out here in Fargo, so I hope you're able to get out and enjoy the nice weather. So we will see you next week. Bye.